All right, team, we are headed off to Chef Jimmy's house, to his kitchen, to learn how to do some meal prep. This is gonna be something we're gonna be doing on the regular, so stay tuned for some awesome recipes. See you in a bit. What's up, team? All right, we have made it to Chef Jimmy's house, and we are going to do an introduction with him. And then today we're going to talk a little bit about how he figures out the macros for his clients, and then how he plans out what their food is gonna look like for the week, depending on how many meals that he makes for them. All right, Jimmy, who are you? And tell us a little bit about yourself and why you are running a meal prep business.
My name is Jimmy. I'm the head chef and co-owner of CPUC Foods, and I got into this kind of by chance. I like to cook, and a friend of mine asked me, hey, why don't you cook for me? And here we are now.
Awesome. What meal are we making right now?
I'm getting ready to plate the pad see ew.
Okay,
so,
what is that?
like a rice noodle stir fry with veggies and a protein.
Okay, recipe down below for you guys who want to make this yourself. So take us through the meal prep process. How did you prepare all this stuff, and then how do you figure out what the macros are for everybody?
So I always start with the raw protein. I'll see the weight of my raw protein. So this chicken, I believe, was 160.9 ounces. So I get the protein, fat, and carbs from that. Then I cook it off. And then once it's all cooked, then I weigh the cooked amount, and I divide the macros by the cooked weight to get the protein, fat, and carbs per ounce.
Got it?
And same with the noodles. And veggies, I typically don't, just because we can all eat more veggies.
Yes, we can. All right, and then after you figure out what the macros are for the big things, how do you figure out how to give everybody what?
So I know each client's personal macros. So for example, I have one who needs 45 grams of protein and carbs. So I'll take the protein per ounce, and let's say this one was 8.5 grams of protein per ounce. So I'll divide that by 45 grams of protein, and that's how much protein I'll need for that person's meals.
Perfect. So we were just talking about when you're making food in bulk and you have to portion stuff out, especially like say if you're making a meal prep for 2 or 3 people, like if you wanted to make it for yourself and your family, and your husband has different macros than you do, how do you figure it out? And Jimmy was explaining how he determines what's pre-cooked and cooked, and then figures out the difference and then portions it out. So he's gonna break it down a little bit more. So you were saying?
Example, for chicken. I know that I had trimmed this raw chicken, and the end weight was 160.9 ounces, which equals 901 grams of protein and 322 grams of fat. So after I cook off all that chicken, I weigh it again to get the cooked weight, and it's always going to be less, obviously, because all the water cooks out. And the weight after it was cooked was 105.3. And so to get the macros, I divide 901 grams of protein by the 105.3, which is 8.5 grams of protein per ounce.
Perfect. And then you're going to weigh it on that fancy scale right there. Exactly. And figure out what everybody gets. All right, team. So we're all done at Jimmy's house, and he gave us a phenomenal recipe and some tips on how we are going to meal prep. The recipe is down below. It's basically make your meat, your veggies, and those noodles, and then put it all together. And he went over how he calculates the macros for each serving that you're going to make. Hit us up if you have any questions, and we'll be posting these once a week with all kinds of recipes and ideas on how to meal prep to crush your nutrition.